You know, we have a tradition, the Ritz report. All
yeah,
right,
I know.
let's hear it for today. Like, do we start with the banger with Josette's race?
I mean, you saved the best for last sometimes,
All right.
but honestly, George, to start it out was super
Yeah.
exciting. I ranked it in order of, some things didn't matter too much for us here, you know, like some people like Sage, you know, for example, like I just like, let's just get out and compete. Like, this is a good early season race. She did great, but like George, I was super nervous for, because this is the first real one, and he was great. Still like a little hesitant. There's so much more in the tank there. Like he really was like, it feels kind of easy. It's just like he hasn't figured out how to run fast over hurdles yet. So like it's a technical skill that he's only gonna get better at. And so I was super nervous for that. Once it was over, I was like, okay, I can kind of enjoy it. Let's see the spectacle that is Yard and Mario. And you know, they were going up against those real 800 boys. And I mean, tonight's probably, it's just not, maybe not, it's a little too cool and everything to run those 800s. But Yard can just close like unreal, you know? And so I wasn't going to be surprised if he ran, you know, 145 at all, but
Which
tonight,
sounds crazy to a lot of us, but to you,
no,
no.
I mean, I kind of would expect it, you know, like from him. So, yeah, and then, I mean, Mario just he'll just go at it, like no matter what, and which I really love that about him. And so it was a good test for them. I think now we can kind of really turn our focus towards, you know, those early Diamond League races that they're going to run. The girls came right afterwards, and Cinta really wanted her to just really go for it. I said, like, I know that you can really, like, sometimes she'll go to the middle of the race, and I'm like, just get to the front. Like, you belong up there, and she did that. So I was proud of that. She maybe fell asleep at one point, but then she closed it down well. So I think it was a good race for her, and Sage just was great. I mean, like, we didn't really want to take the lead. We didn't really care about the time for her, as just compete. And so I feel really good at where she is from the 600 last week to this 15, being able to run that well. She's ready to go in the 8 now this summer. And then, Josette, I mean, we had a bit of a curveball, 2 curveballs.
The pacing, right?
With Alicia, I really thought she could run mid 1430s, and I think she could have, you know, with a little different, you know, pacing. But it was when Alicia got COVID, which she's doing great now, but she got that, and it threw a big wrench in. We were scrambling to find someone. Danny Jones agreed to do it, and unfortunately she was sick afterwards, and like we literally found out like minutes before, like 5 minutes before, Jesse called and was like, see if you can find anyone over there. And they were like walking, and I see Diljit, you know, like standing there, and Whitney was kind of uncertain whether or not what she was gonna do. And I just asked Diljit if she, you know, like, hey, would she mind doing it? And she's like, let me check, maybe. So I owe her big time. You know, Whitney stepped in and kept the train going a little bit, but still, even with Josette, I was a little, you know, like I told her like 3 minutes before, I don't want you to be worried, so here's what's going on. She didn't phase her. She's like, okay, let's just go into race mode. And you know, like originally we were gonna wait until 2 laps to go, but said, you know what, if you feel good, just see what you can run the last mile at. And so she started to go a little bit, and then she hesitated, and then she ran 4:33 the last mile. Looked great. Like, yeah, she was super strong. So, yeah, it's great.
So when you inherited, you know, Josette back in December of last year, I mean, did you foresee this quick of a trajectory for her to take on to your training that fast, to, you know, throw out that you see 1430 potential in her?
Well, she had the talent for sure. You know, really 2 years ago, like when she was running under 4, you know, like you see that and you're like, this is really good. I'm surprised at how strong she can train with Alicia, but like she's just scratching the surface really. Like she hadn't been in the weight room in 4 years. Like there's things like that where you're like, she's gonna be really, really good. And so that's a huge surprise for me, but like I knew she was talented, but also to see how much potential she has, that's what I'm excited about. Like she's just getting started.
Last year, the 5K at USA's, it came down to like a 4:23 mile close.
Yeah.
How is kind of Josette's training and all that stuff geared for that fast of a close? I mean, it depends if the race turns out. We
still don't even know if she's doing the 5K or the 1500, honestly. And tonight makes it harder for me, honestly, because I see that and I'm like, okay. I mean, she's going to be able to close. Like, I mean, she's leading out the end of that race, and she can close like that. She can run a lot faster, but I also I think she can run under 4 minutes right now too, you know, so we'll see. We got a lot of thinking to do.
Yeah. For today with Sage and the 15, what's that do for her confidence? Because she's also someone who has options.
For sure. Sage, I think we're going all in on the 800 still. She's still getting better there. Like, I mean, that's long term for her is 1500 for sure. But I mean, I don't know. Honestly, she's like really good in the 8, like, and has a lot of room for improvement too still. And she's still just kind of like learning how to run those. Like, her confidence in what she can do is growing too there. And so like, there's no rush for us to go to the 15 with her. Like, we originally signed her thinking, 1500 meter runner, but you know, I said, no, she's got potential here. And, you know, I've kind of moved more towards that direction over time, but like a race like this, she's only 24. Like, I mean, she's got a long time to do the 1500. Like, we're going to go where she's best at, and she just keeps getting better. I mean, there's a reason why she's like always in those Diamond League finals, and now we really want to make that World Champs and Olympic team for her, and so we're kind of all in on that right now.
You've got big squad, I think, going to Rabat, right?
Yeah, big group, the Myler boys, which is going to be super exciting, and then we'll see. I mean, hopefully, I've wanted Josette in there. Sage is doing the 8. We'll have people, hopefully, we'll have people in Florence, Paris, and Oslo as well, and so we're going to make a little 3-week trip, go up to the on-house, San Moritz, come back, really focus here before USA's and everybody else, and go back later in the summer. And but yeah, we got a big crew going, and you know, we're maybe not super far along in crushing stuff on the track, but at the same time, like, they're just getting better, and I really like where everybody's at right now.
So the 1500 in Oslo, that's the one that's rumored to be like Jakob's like world record attempt. And if you got a few guys in there, I mean, potentially to crash the party, and then at the same time, what would be the purpose of that race be, knowing that it's going to be fast?
Yeah, we just want to have at the guy in Norway.
See what happens.
Yeah, I mean, I don't care what they run. We go and we race the best guys, and that's what we want to do. We're going to face them throughout the rest of the year. Like, let's go to his turf. I love it. Let's do it.
So then there's this, and then just kind of back to training for a little bit? Or?
Yeah, we'll do, I mean, it's such a late year, so we're trying to really measure where we put those efforts, but, you know, I'm trying to get them to here, come back to get them here, come back, you know, like just step our way up to it, because we really want to be, like, I mean, it's a long year. I mean, I like that the World Champs is late, because there's a Diamond League final after, but it's only 3 weeks versus last year. But at the same time, it's just such a long period of time that we really have to be really smart on where we put the efforts, and make sure they continue to keep the bank stocked up. And that's why I really like where they're at. Like, at races like this, I mean, like Mario and Yared, they haven't done anything to jump into a race like that. So, like, that makes me think, yeah, they're in a really good spot right now. And so kind of wish Ollie would have been in there, but he crushed a session out here this morning with Joe. Yeah, they did a big old Michigan workout here, and you know, they're just keeping their volume up high, and he's super, super fit. Ollie's looked amazing, and Joe is really, really good right now. So honestly, yeah, pretty much the whole team is almost, you know, is firing really good. And Morgan's back running, which is, you know, like, I'm super happy for. He'll run well still at the end of the summer. The guy's so talented, you know. Carmela got sick before she came here, and so that stunk. And Alicia's doing great. I mean, it stunk she wasn't here, but, like, at the end of the day, like, yeah, I mean, she's super fit right now. So, like we said, just stay home. But the team is firing on all cylinders and looking good, and all eyes are on Budapest and Paris now. So, yeah, it's a big long grind.